Welcome to Click to Learn More, the show that sounds like clickbait.
But it's actually two dorks.
I'm Dorm.
I'm Liddy.
Liddy,
Dorm.
I've prepared a poem for you.
Oh, shoot. Okay.
Are you ready?
As ready as I'll ever be.
Selling nuts. Hot nuts. Anybody here want to buy my nuts? Selling nuts. Today, Liddy, we're going to talk about one of the greatest foods known to both sober and drunk folk alike.
Nuts.
Peanuts. Specifically peanuts.
Specifically peanuts.
Yeah.
Okay. Legumes.
So before we get into the delicious ways of eating this fine nut and the history of it, we got to talk about the history. I jumped myself in my notes here. My sources today include maybe the most fun source names I'll ever have.
I'm so ready.
The Texas A&M University Agricultural Department. Boring.
Okay.
Tuskegee University in Alabama.
Fine.
PeanutsUSA.com.
Great.
Peanut-institute.org.
Lovely.
NationalPeanutBoard.org.
Okay.
And of course, Wikipedia.
Of course. Of course.
Wikipedia. I'm being facetious. Also, shout out to Kai's 40-hour lo-fi Spotify playlist.
Is this what kept you going?
Yeah, it's the only thing I could listen to while making the notes because I was like, I can't have lyrics because I'm going to get distracted. So, because I'm writing. So
that's fair. Yeah.
Thanks, Kai. All right. So, the National Peanut Board, the NPB for short.
That's what it's called in high school.
Which is, I don't know why I'm so satisfied by that. Which is a coalition of peanut farmers. Describes the peanut as versatile, affordable, tasty, and nutritious.
Okay.
And
it all checks out.
What's that? We have a new motto for Taco Bell.
Oh, hey.
Versatile, affordable, tasty, nutritious.
You can cut that last one off.
Nah. If you were to eat a diet of only Taco Bell, you'd probably survive.
For 30 minutes.
Yeah, and then you have to go to the bathroom.
Yeah, then you're dead.
But where do these nuts... Why was that funny?
Just nuts is funny.
But where do these nuts come from?
Oh, man.
I'll tell you. Well, while it's not necessarily confirmable because
Nobody knows, yeah.
Most think that the peanut plant probably originated in Peru or Brazil in South America.
Shoot, okay.
No fossil records prove this, but people in South America made pottery in the shape of peanuts.
Oh, that's cool.
And decorated jars with peanuts as far back as 3,500 years ago.
Which would imply that they were plentiful.
Yeah.
So that theory seems to have some weight to it. Okay.
History is nutty.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Especially when you're just like busting through, you know?
Is that a bustin' a nut joke?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay. Then when all of Europe was doing their, oh, hey, we want the world now. Can we have the world, please?
Yeah, can we have this, please?
Thanks. Stuff. Europeans discovered the magic little nut.
European
nuts. That's good. Like that one. The Spanish specifically went absolutely, wait for it.
Crazy.
Wait for it. Fuck you. That was my joke.
Was it really?
Yeah.
Shoot.
That was karma. We just saw karma.
We saw karma happen in real life because I spoiled a joke on accident that I did not know was going to happen, and then I almost fell out of my chair.
The joke being that I could have said nuts, but I said crazy because comedy is misdirection.
You could have, yeah.
For the peanut, they went crazy for it. Since Liddy joined, I just want to say this again. Liddy ruined the joke.
You can do it again if you want.
No, it's fine.
Okay.
And brought back their share to try and farm on Spanish soil. That's the name of my grunge band. Basically, to make a colonization boring story short, the Spaniards spread it throughout Europe. Europe sent it to Africa and Asia.
Okay.
And then African traders brought it to the U.S. in the 1700s.
Cool. Okay.
That's how it got to the U.S. You would think it would go from South America up to the U.S., but no, it actually had to go all the way around first. World first. Before we get any further, I know some people are waiting to hear this.
Uh-oh.
Peanuts are not technically a nut. They're a legume.
Yeah.
Like chickpeas or most bean varieties.
Yeah.
However,
Uh-oh.
the USDA's Dietary Guidelines for Americans classifies peanuts and peanut butter in the nuts and seeds category, which provides nutrients that are vital for health and maintenance of your body. So while peanuts may not botanically be nuts,
Okay.
they're nutritionally in the nut category.
So, again, our government's lying to us.
Yes, of course.
So, again, we're getting lied to by our government. Welcome to our new conspiracy podcast, Going Nutty.
That's good.
Where we're getting nutty.
Yes.
Getting nutty with it.
Getting nutty with it. That's very good.
Getting nutty with it, where we talk about...
Nut. Getting nutty with it.
That's our theme song. So would you say, since it's October and it's like really spooky and stuff, would you say
Nuttober.
that it was like, since it's Nuttober and it's really spooky and stuff,
Yes.
would you say it's like the creature of the Black Lagoon? Would you say it's kind of like that?
Sure.
Okay, I just really wanted to make like a spooky joke. I just wanted to do like a spooky thing because it's October. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry I interrupted your notes.
That's a sentence you're going to regret.
Oh.
Where was I don't even remember where I was. Speaking of which, have you ever wondered why kids are always shown eating a peanut butter and jelly sandwich and drinking milk?
Yes.
You have wondered this.
Well, I don't like peanut butter.
Ah.
So that has never made
I knew this about you, but it still makes me
that's never made sense to me that it's like paired with milk.
That's because a peanut butter sandwich and a glass of milk is enough to equal 40% of the nutritional needs of a child.
Of their whole life?
Their day. Like a daily nutritional income.
A peanut butter sandwich a day keeps the Grim Reaper away?
Yes. That's what they said to me in school.
Okay, cool. So the jelly is just like a sugary...
Makes it taste good.
Yeah, you can't...
And I guess there's like some probably fruit vitamins in there.
Yeah.
But peanuts are stronk boys.
Strong.
1 ounce
Okay.
of, or as R. Kelly would say, ounce of peanuts equals 25% of the average person's protein needs in a day.
Shoot.
You could get a quarter, so you could get your entire protein need for the day in 4 ounces of nut.
So if you get 4 nuts in a day,
Yeah.
that's all the protein you need.
Not what I said.
Okay.
4 ounces of nut.
If you have at least 4 nuts.
No.
If you experience 4 nuts.
Not right.
If you nut it 4 times a day.
Technically, okay, sure.
That's all the protein that you need.
If you consider nutting it a serving, then yes.
Oh, I do. Oh, I do.
Thank you. The DJs needed that for their soundboard. That's why they're so prevalent in protein bars.
That makes sense. And like trail mix and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
They're also a notorious staple of protein for people with non-meat or stricter dietary restrictions.
With other legumes, sure.
I was watching this quintessentially mid-90s video in prep for today.
Okay.
It was 30 minutes long. It's split up in 3 parts on YouTube. It's called, I forget what it's called. It's not worth watching.
Don't go look it up.
No, I'm assuming it was made by some peanut board to show to kids and accompany some traveling school nut guy, maybe in a mascot.
Like super pro nut.
Yeah, very pro nut.
Okay.
The most pro nut.
Okay.
Proletariat nut. I got you. You don't give me any proletariat jokes. I got to take them where I can get them.
That was a close. That was close.
Yeah, it was made to accompany some traveling school guy, surely. Anyway, they opened by showering praise onto the peanut.
I thought you were going to say they showered people with peanuts.
Yes.
Okay.
They made it nut rain. And ending their opening statement with, quote,
Uh-oh.
I guess that's why peanuts are often referred to as nutrition in a nutshell.
Okay, but that's pretty good marketing.
But who has ever thought, there's this 2-syllable word called peanut. You know what I like to call them? Nutrition in a nutshell. No one has ever said that ever.
That's a good tagline, but it's not a good,
Yeah, it would have been fine if he's like, that's why we think.
Yeah.
But he was like, that's why most people refer to peanut. No, they don't.
Nobody refers to
They just
it
say
as that.
nuts. Everybody says nuts. Everybody nuts.
Everybody nuts.
It was also great because it had a, just absolutely awful word art animated in.
Oh, no.
And like each of the letters spun and it was chrome and it was just the worst thing. And I loved it.
Web 2.0 or whatever.
Yeah. I'm willing to bet no one has ever said nutrition in a nutshell before or since describing a peanut.
Yeah. Fair.
Anyway, I thought that was funny. But they do have a point. Peanuts are legitimately awesome for you, health-wise.
Yeah.
Back to the history. Peanuts really didn't start making waves here in the U.S. until right around the Civil War.
Oh.
From 1861 to 1865. Although peanuts had begun to be planted as a commercial crop in Virginia around 1800, they were mainly thought of as finicky to farm and not producing a high yield. Peanuts aren't as plentiful as like tobacco.
Okay. So they weren't going to get them any money and
right.
not as many crops as they wanted. Okay.
Yeah. The value of the peanut for militaristic time, however, made it surge in popularity.
Oh.
Something that's high in protein, small, easy to store or transport, and has a relatively long shelf life compared to like beef.
Right. Yeah.
Makes it an ideal foodstuff for both the Union and Confederacy. And
it
both
comes in its own carrier.
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
They peanuts were like legitimately huge amongst the Civil War. I didn't know that.
That makes sense.
After the war, soldiers brought home their supply of peanuts and discovered how much they enjoyed it just as a snack.
Yeah. At that time, do you think they boiled them, or
probably? Yeah. It wasn't really said.
Because it's not going to be like a salted, like
sure, it's not what we think of as like a snack nut.
Yeah, it's probably just going to be like something. It's probably pretty bland.
Yeah,
but it was.
But everything was bland.
It was just nutrition. It wasn't as a snack, like as something delicious. It was something for sustenance.
Right. Their popularity grew even further in the late 1800s when my boy Phineas Taylor, P.T. Barnum. When this is the second time I've actually brought up P.T. Barnum on the podcast, and neither episode's been about him. When his circus wagons traveled across the country and vendors began selling hot roasted nuts to the hungry crowds.
Yep.
Soon, this spread to street vendors who began selling roasted peanuts from carts around events. It wasn't like, like you go to New York and see a hot dog vendor, but it was like, outside of the venue or maybe in the thoroughfare or wherever.
So were they pretty plentiful during this? Like, is that why people said, like, oh, he'll work for peanuts? Meaning,
that comes later.
Okay.
At this time, which we'll get into it, but like they were still hand harvested.
Okay.
It wasn't until a little bit later, and I'll double down on this in my notes, but it wasn't until a little bit later that like machinery came into it to help sort of refine the process.
Gotcha.
So they were cheap and pretty readily available, but they weren't like just looking for anything to use them with.
Fair.
They were still kind of hard to harvest. Around the same time, peanuts became increasingly popular at a little-known sport called baseball games.
Oh, heck yeah.
While peanut production rose during this time, peanuts... Go ahead.
No, sorry. Just the song, buy some peanuts and Cracker Jacks.
Yeah.
Like, it's never occurred to me.
Oh, really?
Like, they literally ate peanuts. Wow.
Yeah.
Sports are amazing.
Peanuts are great at a baseball game. Peanuts are great in general. I love peanuts.
Do they have them in the shell?
Yeah, usually they're in like a clear plastic bag that's got a shell on them.
Because I know like sunflower seeds are a big thing, but these are a lot of foods that you have to crack open and spit out part of it.
I think the appeal or the allure of that is that when you're at a baseball game, it's a lot of, I mean, as my mom's a diehard baseball fan, but like as someone who enjoys baseball games, you have a lot of downtime. And something to do with your hands while you're still watching.
It feels like you're like, I mean, it's popcorn at a movie, right?
Right,
it's
exactly.
Like something to do.
There's not so much to cheer. Like, I would rather have, I think peanuts make way more sense for a baseball game than they do like a football game.
Okay.
Because a football game, you're clapping, cheering, or even more like a basketball game. Like, you could still get them there for sure, but like there's not as much like raucous physical activity.
Fair.
So peanuts make sense for more of a sitting, quiet kind of game.
Yeah. That makes sense.
So yeah, they're usually in the shell though. I know Cincinnati was the only like MLB venue I've ever been to. At Great American Ballpark, they have like Cincinnati Reds peanuts.
Like specifically like branded?
Yes, and they'll even sell those locally. I've seen them in stores here.
Cool.
So they must have like a vendor or something that they probably just slap their logo on and charge $1 more for them. But while peanut production rose during this time, peanuts were still harvested by hand, leaving stems and trash in the peanuts.
Oh.
So basically the way peanuts grow is they flower. I learned this from this weird like documentary thing I watched. They flower out of the soil, and you grow them in rows about like you grow any. If you've ever seen a farm, they grow about like that. And they grow up.
Okay.
And then like little shoots grow up and they flower. They have a yellow flower.
Okay.
But the shoots get so heavy basically that they grow out and then back down.
Okay.
And then peanuts grow in the soil. That's what makes them a legume technically, is that they grow in the soil.
So they're in the ground.
Yeah, but it's weird because it comes out of the ground only to go back into the ground.
So it's kind of so it'd be like a straight line up and then like a parentheses
Yeah, basically.
down back to the ground.
Or like like in like a cartoon haircut from the 20s. Like it's got like those arches.
You're right. That's much more relatable. Everybody knows those cartoon haircuts from the 20s.
Basically, if you were to hold a mop upside down,
Okay.
and it kind of comes back around on itself.
Okay.
And I think there are a bunch of shoots off of one plant. I couldn't really tell.
Okay.
Because when they show peanuts getting harvested, it's like the full plant comes out of the ground. There's a bunch of peanuts, like roots almost.
So one plant has multiple nuts.
I think so.
Over its lifetime.
Yes.
It'll nut multiple times.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I think that's how it works. I'm not exactly sure.
Okay.
But like basically they show just like, it's like if you pulled like celery or something out of the ground and it's just like a bunch of stuff just coming off of it.
So the flowered part is what goes back down into the ground that grows the peanut?
No, the flower stays up top.
Oh, okay.
It's just like these little shoots.
that
come off of it.
off of the sides.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's really weird. But yeah, there are actually 4 different types of peanuts that are the most popular. There are runners, which are like most peanuts. I think it's like 75% of peanuts are runners. Also
walkers.
Yeah.
Which is good.
Yeah.
You want them to be quick.
Okay.
Quick nut. Everybody loves a quick nut, so.
Do they?
I mean, most people. Half the population, at least.
So runners are usually what goes into peanut production that aren't like snack nuts.
Okay.
So like peanut butter, peanut oil, things like that.
These guys are getting squished.
Yeah, they're small. They're ideal for grinding stuff up, that kind of thing. Peanut dust, which is actually a thing. Peanut flour.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there are a lot of applications for peanuts. We'll get there. But then there are the Valencia nuts, which are...
Those sound fancy. Like, really fancy.
They only grow in New Mexico. Or people only grow them in New Mexico. I don't know if they only grow there, but that's where they're grown. And they account for like 1% of peanuts being eaten.
Shoot, they're the 1%.
Yeah, exactly. That's why they're so fancy.
Oh, dang.
But they're wild because they go into like I think half and half of like snack nuts and peanut butters. Mm-hmm. But they're wild because they can have up to like 4 nuts per pod instead of like the average 2. So it looks like a little row of 4 peanuts.
So it look kind of like peas.
Yeah, basically, yeah, but like a hard shell. Huh. And then there is Spanish, which you'll see in like a lot of mixed nuts. Like Spanish usually are used for snack nuts. If you've ever seen a nut with like the red papery skin on it,
yeah.
Those are Spanish red peanuts.
Okay.
And then the other type is Virginia nuts, and I think those are mainly like your just average everyday peanut.
Okay.
So those are the 4 types.
Did those originate in Virginia, or are
They're,
they like...
Well, they didn't. Yes and no. Like that's where they grew.
Okay.
Mainly, like when earlier when I said that like Virginia was kind of the first people to try it.
Okay.
That was sort of the breed they grew. Most peanuts, I think 38%, or at least at the time of the source I saw, come from Georgia. Georgia's the main.
Interesting.
Yeah, Georgia's the main peanut state, and then it's like spread throughout.
Peanuts and peaches.
Yes, exactly. Anything starting with P.
Nuts and nuts.
That's actually good. That's really good. I think it's Georgia and then Texas, and then like Texas is like 23%, and then it's kind of spread throughout. It's like South Carolina, North Carolina, Oklahoma, Virginia, New Mexico.
Kind of warmer climates, which makes sense considering where it started. Okay.
So peanuts have to, this is also in that video, peanuts have to have 200 days ideally without frost.
Whoa.
So that's why they're grown in southern climates usually, because you usually don't have that window. So they're usually planted in like April and harvested like 4 to 5 months later.
Oddly specific for a plant.
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought that was interesting. So they grow best when there's no frost, hence why they grow naturally in South America, and then also why they grow best in the southern United States. The United States is actually, I think, contributes 75% of the peanuts around the world.
Dang.
Like the U.S. is the number 1 peanut.
All right. U.S. nutting on all of them. I like it. I
Yep.
like it.
The U.S. We nut all over everybody.
We're nutting on them. They got nutting on us.
That's good.
Hey.
That's very good. So luckily, poor quality and lack of uniformity kept down the demand for peanuts outside of niche markets. So outside of a ball game, circus, that kind of thing, they were still pretty just common. Luckily around, or uncommon rather. Luckily around 1900, equipment was invented for planting, cultivating, harvesting, and picking peanuts from the plants.
Oh, shoot.
And for shelling and cleaning the kernels. So there was like a revolution of industry tech for peanuts.
So they had a machine that would do all the work that a person would do, typically,
Right.
and probably at 5 times the speed. Okay.
Yeah, faster and cleaner.
Yeah.
With these mechanical aids, peanuts rapidly came into demand for oil, roasted and salted nuts, which we would just call snack nuts, peanut butter, and candy applications.
Oh, okay.
In the early 1900s, peanuts became a significant agricultural crop when the boll weevil was threatening South's cotton crop.
No.
So boll weevils are just like an infestation kind of bug where
Mean.
where they just destroy crops.
Yeah.
And a lot of people think that, and it's still basically the main theory, it's hard to prove technically, but if you cycle crops, that like brings down the disease in plants, and peanuts were actually, they have some like natural oils that are sort of pesticides kind of, so they were good to have in your crop rotation.
Oh.
So not only were they beneficial to sell and they were starting to get popular in demand, they're also beneficial to your farm long term for selling cotton.
Dang, it's always good to have a nut around.
It's always good to have a nut
It's
around.
always good to have a nut.
Following the suggestion of noted scientist Dr. George Washington Carver from Tuskegee University in Alabama,
A name I recognize.
peanuts served as an effective commercial crop and for a time rivaled the position of cotton in the South. So basically,
Shoot, okay.
Carver, I think I may have this later, but Carver suggested rotating cotton and peanuts evenly. So,
Oh, okay.
year 1 cotton, year 2 peanut. When they say rotate, they just mean changing year to year. So like, and some people will do like a 2 years for your main crop, 1 year for your off crop, that kind of thing.
Okay.
He was saying you should do 1 and 1. And he kind of backed that up in a cool number of ways. So let's talk about old GWC.
Oh, yeah.
Now, he will arguably always be remembered as the father of the peanut, or Papa Nut, as I like to call him. But he was much more than that. He was a leading professor at Tuskegee Institution in Alabama and an agricultural savant. He came up with a lot of different agriculture ideas, some good, some not, but he tried a lot of things. He actually was almost as innovative towards sweet potatoes as he was peanuts, but nobody ever talks about that.
Okay.
Let's also say this now. He did not invent peanut butter.
Which was a mistake that I made earlier tonight when Norm and I were talking about peanuts, and I was like, oh, I know what he did. And Norm was like, nope.
I didn't know this either, to be fair, before I started researching. Peanut butter, in all likelihood, outdates him by a long time.
Oh, shoot.
And it was most likely invented by either the Aztecs or the Incans. People don't know which because they both had them, but like that is probably where peanut butter comes from. But even if you discount that, in the United States, Dr. John Harvey Kellogg, the dude who created Kellogg's, invented a version of peanut butter in 1895 before George Washington Carver ever published anything on peanuts. So
okay.
even if you're saying, oh, well, he modernized it or whatever,
Right.
No, he didn't. Kellogg did. It's
That's
also...
what we're taught in school, though. We're taught that he's the father of the peanut.
And he is... And I think that sort of confuses people into thinking, oh, he's the peanut butter guy. Because he did do so much with peanuts and sort of made
but
them
not
a modern
necessarily
crop.
peanut butter.
But people, I think it's just a sort of communication where people get their wires crossed and like, oh, this guy did so much with peanuts. Oh, he had a recipe for peanut butter. Oh, he invented peanut butter. But that's not what happened. Peanut butter had been around for generations.
Okay.
And again, even if not, either he or... a St. Louis physician. So some people think Kellogg, he published, but some people think that a St. Louis physician may have even done it before, and that person, whose name I couldn't find, may have developed a version of peanut butter as a protein substitute for his older patients who had poor teeth and couldn't chew meat. So they knew peanuts were high in protein.
Oh.
You can't chew meat. I'm going to make you this paste
I'm going to make you a nut paste, yeah.
that you can eat without teeth.
You can just scoop it up with a spoon.
There you go. Or you put it on bread.
And give it to a dog.
Peanut butter was first introduced at the St. Louis's World's Fair in 1904. So even this predates George Washington Carver's really infamous publication on peanuts. That was in 1905. But Carver did, not going to take away from his nut legendary status, he did originate several peanut recipes and is mostly responsible for making those so popular in Southern agriculture. He fought for their yearly rotation with cotton to combat the boll weevil, and farmers listened. Then, in a stroke of genius, in 1905, he published a paper through the Tuskegee Institute on how to grow peanuts that included 105 ways to eat or prepare them.
Ah.
Here are all 105 dishes he suggests. Are you ready?
How many?
105.
105. 105. What now?
Peanut dishes.
Okay.
So he basically was
The
saying...
first one is just a dish that he put a bunch of peanuts in.
Yeah.
Obviously.
And it's just a different colored dish.
Uh-huh. The
Yeah.
second one is that he put some peanuts in a dish, but also a little bit of gravy.
Mmm. That good nut gravy.
I didn't mean to make it gross, but I did. No, go ahead. I don't know what the heck
All
you're
right.
talking about.
In the soups category.
Well, peanut soup.
Number 1, peanut soup.
Ah!
Number 2, peanut soup number 2.
Hold on. You can't. Hold on. Excuse me, JWC. You can't just say 1 and 2, and the second one's got a little more salt in it. Like what?
Basically, that's what he did.
No.
So he came up with... There are several numbered dishes here that are slightly different recipes for the same idea.
God, you don't get to call that a whole new recipe.
You
You don't
kind of
get,
do.
you don't get to go, and in this one you wear a yellow shirt, but in this one you wear a red shirt.
Right.
And it's a
I
completely
guess it depends on
different
how
recipe.
different the recipe is. Like, if your mom has a different recipe for fried chicken than KFC, I think those are two different recipes.
Fair.
But-
But him adding a spoonful or a pinch of salt to an already existing recipe does
Yeah.
not make it a different recipe.
Fair enough. Number 3, peanut bisque.
Nope. No.
Hey, George Washington Carver, I have a question for you. So number 1 is peanut soup. Number 2, peanut soup number 2. Number 3, peanut bisque. Number 4, peanut soup number 4. What happened
with 3?
to peanut soup number 3?
What happened to 3?
Did it
Where's
get
peanut borscht?
Did it get so thick that he was like, "Fuck, this is a bisque."
It's like, oh god, this
Oh,
is
I
a
fucked
peanut
it.
stew.
Instead of retrying to do
Oh, I've stewed it.
a stew nut.
I've stewed it bad.
Number 5, consomme of peanuts. I don't even know what consomme is.
Oh, it's just like when two peanuts get married, and then at the end of the night, they finally
They deshell.
they take their shells off and they go into their honeymoon suite together, and they consummate their relationship.
It's very good. Number 6, puree of peanuts. Number 7,
Don't just gloss over the fact that he squished up some peanuts and went, "Here's a puree of it."
yeah.
He made peanut butter. That's what peanut butter is.
Oh no, that's different.
No,
Number
George Washington Carver. It's the same.
Number 7, puree of peanuts. Number 2,
No.
in parentheses, extra fine. End parentheses.
So he gave you some gritty peanuts. He put some chunks of peanuts on a plate and went, here's puree of peanuts 1. And then he gave you one that was slightly less chunky and went, puree of peanuts 2.
Number 2,
Wink.
extra fine.
Extra fine. He put sunglasses on that one and went, wink. And you're supposed to just admit that that's 1. It's 105, more like 5.
Breads.
Hey, peanut bread?
Number 8, peanut bread. Number 1.
He just, you know what he did? He just put a bunch of peanuts into
On a loaf of bread, yeah.
on a bread loaf that already existed. He bought a bread loaf and shoved a
Just
bunch
shoved
of
it.
peanuts inside of it and went, peanut loaf.
Number 9, peanut bread. Number 2.
No, I can't. with
Number
the no-
10, English peanut bread.
What?
He said it with an accent that time.
He put it next to a cup of tea and some biscuits. I don't think so.
Number 11, Aunt Nellie's peanut brown bread.
Excuse me, Aunt Nellie. I don't think so.
Number 12, oatmeal peanut bread. In parentheses here, delicious.
No.
Which completely disqualifies all of his other recipes.
First of all, is
He's
that
like-
the first one that you thought tasted good?
It must have
Is this
been.
the first one that tasted good? How many are we in?
We are we're number 12.
Number 12 before you found something good?
Yeah.
No. What did you do with the first 11? Might as well add them.
This exists.
Why would you not put the first one as delicious?
Number 13, peanut bread. Number 3.
I don't like this.
Number 14, peanut rolls. Number 1. Number 15, peanut rolls. Number 2. Number 16, Swedish nut rolls.
None of this makes sense.
Cookies. Number 17, peanut cookies. Number 1. Number 18, peanut cookies. Number 2.
No.
Number 19, peanut cookies. Number 3.
It's just gradually more peanuts in the cookies.
It's just
The
a
first one
stack
had-
of peanuts
the
like with a
first one-
patty.
The first one just had one peanut in the cookie, and the second one had 3 peanuts in the cookie, and the third one had 5 peanuts in the cookie. You don't get to call it a different recipe.
Number 20, peanut tea rolls. Delicious.
A tea, like TEA rolls?
Yeah. No idea what that is.
In parentheses, British. In parentheses, delicious. In parentheses, Aunt Nellie's. But he's just grabbing from he's grabbing from those magnets that you have on a fridge with a bunch of words, and he's just putting them together and then adding a 2 and a 3 at the end.
And the word peanut. Number 21, peanut bars. He had serious bars. Number 22, peanut wafers number 1. Number 23, peanut wafers number 2. Number 24, peanut wafers number 3. Number 25, peanut muffins number 1. Number 26, peanut muffins number 2.
No, what he did, he found some blueberry muffins, and he cut the top off of it, and he hollowed it out, and he put a handful of peanuts in it, and he put the top back on it, and he said, "What do you think, judges?" And they took a bite
And no
into
one
it,
was sitting there, and he said it to a room full of stuffed bears.
And they took a bite out of it, and they said, "This is a blueberry muffin you filled full of peanuts." And he said, "Peanut muffin number 1."
Gotta refine it.
Back to the drawing board.
Still counts though. Number 27, peanut donuts number 1.
Okay, yes.
Peanut donut, funny. Number 28, peanut donuts number 2. Cakes. Cake.
Okay.
Number 29, peanut cake number 1. Number 30, peanut cake number 2. Number 31, peanut roll cake with jelly.
It's the same cake. He just smushed it up and put it in a roll. You can't keep doing this.
Come on, George.
You can't keep doing this, George.
Number 32, peanut layer cake. Number 33.
There was 105.
105.
Do you know what this
We're
man...
a third of the way through.
No, what this man has done...
Yeah.
He's made a mockery of us all. That's what this man has done.
Made us all sound nuts. Number 33, Metropolitan cake with peanuts.
He put a tiny little, a building on top of it. And went, this one's Metropolitan now.
I may have skipped over number 32, so I'm saying it again, peanut layer cake. I think I did skip over
definitely. Guess what? It wouldn't matter because it's the same cake as every other cake that's on there because all they are just cakes with some nuts shoved in the middle of them.
Number 34, peanut cake with molasses. Number 35, peanut pudding.
No.
Peanut pudding.
No.
It's just peanut butter.
No, peanut pudding. He's got somebody else's banana pudding. He squished up some peanuts, just sprinkled them on
You're
top.
painting George Washington Carver as just like an idiot.
Sprinkled them on top and went, "Judges,
Again,
I present to you
again to an empty room.
peanut pudding." And they all went, nothing, because there were no people there because he said it to an empty room.
All the people were peanuts.
He made Mr. Peanut.
Yeah.
It's the original
Mr. Peanut.
Peanut.
The planner's
He's the original Mr. Peanut. My mind is blown.
Sorry, audio listeners. I just did a very exaggerated face. Number 36, peanut strips with bananas.
He just laid out a bunch of peanuts in a row.
Put a banana. Miscellaneous dishes from peanuts.
Oh,
That's
good.
how it's labeled in the published piece from a college.
Okay.
Miscellaneous dishes from peanuts.
From peanuts, okay.
Number 37, liver with peanuts. Now, Now, I thought you might be curious. How do you prepare that dish? So I got the recipe. All of these had the recipe. I took them out mostly unless they made me laugh. Boil the liver from 2 fowls or a turkey.
It's bird livers.
When tender, there's no comma, mash them fine.
The livers?
Yeah, boil 1 pint of blanched peanuts until soft. Mash them to a smooth paste. Mix and rub them through a puree strainer.
Oh my god.
Season to taste, salt, pepper, and lemon juice.
He's made a pate.
Yeah, moisten a pite. Moisten with melted. Well, not my best.
Nutte.
Ah, that's good. Moisten with melted butter. Spread the paste on bread like sandwiches, or add enough hot chicken stock to make a puree. Those sound like 2 different recipes to me, George.
That's
you should
two
do
different
two
things.
recipes.
You should have made it the pureed 17 and 18.
Heat again and season with salt, pepper, and lemon juice. Those are the only seasonings he knew existed.
Lemon juice?
Yes.
For liver and peanuts?
That's what he said. Don't doubt the man. Or do.
I will. He was wrong.
Number 38, mock chicken, which is like a substitute chicken.
Is this like that mock turtle thing we recently talked about?
No, it's not. That wasn't on the podcast, though. Number 39, mock veal cutlets. Number 40, peanut patties.
No.
Which is what?
I'm just going to veto that one.
Okay.
George Washington Carver.
So we're down to 104. Number 41, brown sauce.
Also no.
Bet you're wondering what that is. You mix thoroughly 1 teaspoon of peanut butter and 2 tablespoons brown flour with 1 tablespoon cream. Gradually 2 cups hot milk. 2 cups, rather. I said cuts. 2 cups hot milk and stir and cook until the mixture thickens. Just before serving, add 4 tablespoons strained tomatoes.
And say a prayer to God because gross.
That sounds awful.
It
And a little salt and pepper.
disgusting.
Number 42, the secret to life and everything else. Peanut sausage.
Nut sausage.
Nut sausage. Yep. Just going to let that one sink in for a second.
That's what she said.
Number 43, peanut and cheese roast. Number 44, peanut omelet. You guessed it. I'm not going to read it. The recipe is just make an omelet and put peanuts in it.
No, this is, okay, so I'm bothered.
Yeah.
When people make an omelet and they just put peanuts in it, are they grinding them up or are they just putting them in whole?
I imagine they may be diced. I didn't read the
At
recipe
what
that
point-
thoroughly.
At what point?
I just wanted to prove that it was an omelet.
At what point, as a human,
Yeah.
do you make an omelet and think, you know what would improve this? Just random crunching.
I will say that peanuts is a nut and an egg there, so you probably made a food baby.
That is a food. That's fine. That's a food baby. It's a good joke, and I appreciate it.
Thank you.
But also, like when you're eating an omelet, that's like a soft thing. A crunch is not.
Yeah, I'm with you. Number 45.
Good.
We're still not halfway there, Lid. Baked peanuts with rice. Number 46. Peanut macaroni and cheese. Peanut macaroni and cheese. Peanut macaroni and cheese.
You're gonna get picked
The
up.
dude just made macaroni and cheese and put peanuts
First
in
of all,
them.
macaroni and cheese was a thing, and it took you this long to get to it. Not you, him.
No, I know.
Macaroni and cheese was a thing, and you made peanut with brown gravy and sauce before you got to the macaroni and cheese.
I don't think
part?
this is the order he made them in. I think this is convenient ordering for us because they were ordered by like cakes and then breads and
I
things.
think that perhaps
I keep thinking you have a tattoo.
I do.
Like Adam's tattoo.
I have a problem with a lot of what's happening here.
Number 47, peanut pie crust. The
No.
first. No,
No.
I'm fine with that one.
No, it's
It's pie crust.
just a bunch of mushed up peanuts.
There's graham cracker crust. I'm fine with this one.
It's a bunch of what do you kind of pie you make out of that?
A peanut pie. Peanut butter pie.
It's literally okay. Follow me along on this imagery.
Yeah, take me on a journey.
It's a pie pan.
Uh-huh.
You smush up a ton of peanuts.
Yeah.
Is it? What are you imagining? You imagining like a peanut paste?
No, like a graham cracker crust, but with
Just
peanuts.
chopped.
Yeah.
Finely chopped peanuts. Fine. Mix them with some butter, whatever.
Sure, right.
Smush them into the pie tin.
Yes.
You make your peanut crust.
Yeah, crust is
Fine.
made. Sure.
You know what he pours on top? A bag of peanuts, shells and all. Shells and all.
That's good.
Throws it in the oven, bakes it, pulls it out. Whoops! Look at me! I made another recipe.
That's another one for the book.
Put me down in the history books. I did it.
Number 48, peanut breakfast cakes. I have no
That's
idea
not
what that
even
is.
a thing.
Number 49, peanuts and mushrooms. This would make me laugh so hard because I was like, you're literally just combining things. Peanuts and spinach, peanut tomatoes, peanuts and oranges.
He was picking a peanut and went, "Oh, look, a little mushroom's growing here. Pop, pop, one after the
Oh,
other."
that's a recipe, boys.
He made a recipe. Does it tell you can saute them or anything?
It told me the recipes, but I got rid of them for convenience of the list.
But
you can look
listen,
them up
If you
on
cooked
Texas
both
A&M's
of these
website.
things, they're mush.
Oh yeah,
Like a boiled peanut
and
a boiled
mushroom. You're just gonna make like paste.
That's gross.
Number 50, peanut timbales. I don't know what that is. Number 51, peanut butter. So
It took 50 to get to peanut butter?
So here's the thing. I don't know how, and I looked this up. I don't know how. I'm talking to you. I don't know
To you,
how.
the listening audience.
I don't know how someone didn't make a peanut butter company and call it number 51. That's freaking awesome. I'm TMing it right now.
Is the 51 we don't know that's when he made it, right?
No, it's just the number in the recipe book.
But it is an actual book he made.
It was a published paper through the Tuskegee Institute of Alabama. Now it's hosted on A&M's website.
But it's from him.
Yes.
That's great then.
That's a great brand.
Number 51 is great.
Yes. I'm going to do it. I'm going to make it for like a mock project. I'm not even joking.
That's great.
I'm going to put it in my... Yeah, that's a great idea.
Oh, we're nuts. Listen.
You want to write the copy and I'll do the logo?
Podcast people that are listening, don't listen right now because this is all TM.
Yeah, this is all pre-TMing.
This is
Pre-Ms.
This is preems. But I want to come up with the tagline.
Yeah, you got it.
For
Number 51.
for your nut butter company. Okay.
Stuffings.
Hold on. Hold on. They're gonna stuff something with some nuts.
Number 52. Peanut stuffing number 1. He's back to his old ways. Google Docs just crashed on me. So that's what they think of me.
Google Docs and I are on the same page. It just went, you know what? No.
Number 53, peanut stuffing number 2. Number 54, peanut stuffing number 3. Number 55, peanut meal. Like a
ground.
Yes,
like
not just a
cornmeal?
peanut meal.
Yeah.
Number 1,
Just a meal of peanuts.
Number 56, brown peanut meal. Number 57, cream peanuts. That's right.
Oh.
Cream nuts. Cream nuts.
Let that sink in.
Let it just pour all over
What
it.
do you, for real though? Like creamed
up?
corn.
Also gross.
I like cream.
I hate cream
Corn's
corn.
fine.
Hate cream corn.
What makes a nut?
What makes a nut?
What makes a nut creamed?
I'm a. That's a great quote.
What makes?
I'm gonna clip that out and just put it on Twitter for the whole ad for this show.
No, because I'm sure I made a terrible face. What makes a peanut a creamed peanut?
I'm assuming you add cream to it. I'm not even
Is
joking.
it literally just cooked?
That's
in
how you
cream?
make cream corn.
Is it just cooked in cream? Is
Yeah,
that
basically,
legit?
like
okay,
butter and
okay. That wasn't a goof question. That was like a legitimate question. Okay.
Number 58, salted peanuts.
Why are there no like? Do you know like peanut butter rolls?
Mhm,
Like
yeah,
that
they're great.
That good stuff you get around
Christmas,
time?
yeah, of course. Peanut butter rolls are awesome.
Why is that?
It's not in here. I'm going to tell you that. Number 58, salted peanuts. You heard me. I'm saying it again. Salted peanuts. Could you imagine if you looked up a recipe right now, for chicken, and it was like salted chicken? You just literally just put salt on the chicken, and it was over. So you roast the peanut shell and remove the thin holes, put in a pan, butter slightly, put it in an oven and heat through, spread on a piece of white paper, sprinkle with fine salt, and serve.
No.
That was the idea.
No. This is the person that goes, here's how you make buttered bread.
But
My
with
bread.
peanuts.
Yeah.
Number 59, peanut butter sandwiches. Not a recipe. Those are just two things.
Peanut butter sandwiches?
Number 60, peanut salad number 1. Number 61, peanut salad number 2.
Salad out of peanuts?
Number 62, peanut salad number 3. Number 63, peanut and date salad. A nut and date.
Nut and date.
Usually the other way around. Number 64, peanut salad with bananas. Number 65, peanut ice cream number 1. You know where we're getting. Number 66, peanut ice cream number 2. Number 67, peanut cream professional way, in parentheses. I'm not even joking. Number 68, peanut frappe. What? They knew what a frappe was in 1905?
Frappe? Wait, that's got to be something else, right?
Maybe. Number 69,
Nice.
nut and prune ice cream. Peanut and prune ice cream. 2 cups milk, 3 eggs yolked. Half pound pulp from well cooked and sweetened prunes. 1 quart cream. Yeah, peanut butter roll. Peanut butter roll is great.
That's the good stuff.
Half cup blanched and ground peanuts. Peanut meal can be used. 1 teaspoon vanilla extract and a pinch of salt. Heat the milk. Pour in a well-beaten egg yolk. Blend all other ingredients thoroughly. Freeze and serve in dairy glasses.
Dairy glasses.
Dainty glasses. I
dainty
misspoke.
glasses.
Sorry.
No, you're fine. I don't know what a dainty glass is either to help me.
A glass that likes a night out on the town. Candies and confections. Number 70, peanut butter candy. Number 71, peanut candy. Those are different. Number 72, peanut caramels. Number 73, peanut kisses. Number 74, peanut chocolate taffy. Number 75, peanut balls. Number 76, nut balls. Number 76, peanut candy number 2. Number 77, peanut fillings for cakes, cookies, etc. You couldn't even decide what that was supposed to go in. He just stopped. Number 78, candied peanuts. Number 79, peanut nougat with honey. Peanut nougat. Number 80, peanut butter fudge. That's a good one. I'll sign off on that. Number 81, peanut divinity fudge. Number 82, peanut chocolate fudge.
Good, though.
I've never had divinity.
Oh, it's really good.
Chocolate peanut's great. Number 84, peanut brittle number 2. Hey guys, there was never
There's only one kind of brittle.
Oh, sorry, I escaped. I cleared that one. 83 must have been peanut brittle number 1. Number 85, peanut and popcorn balls. Also good. Number 86, frosted peanut fudge. Number 87, peanut panoka. Don't know what that is. Number 88, peanut fruit roll. Number 89, sultana peanut caramels. Number 90, nut honey.
Wait, is it just nuts and honey?
And sugar, yeah.
And sugar?
Number 91, peanut almond fudge. Very fine.
Okay.
Number 92, peanut tutti frutti caramels. Number 93, peanut honey puffs. That's what Sean Combs went by as a time. Number 94, peanut maple sugar. Sorry, peanut maple sugar fudge. Number 95, peanut carrot fudge.
That's what they call me in high school.
Number 96, peanut and fig candy. Number 97, peanut nougat. Number 98, peanut marshmallows. Number 99, peanut toffee candy. Number 100, peanut brownies.
Okay, he waited till 100, and he's like, you know what? Let's bust out
Let's
the
cap it
brownies.
off.
Let's bust out the brownies.
Fancy cheeses for the home.
Hold on. We got to brownies, and I thought like we had reached a new level of like.
You thought the pinnacle had approached.
I thought like, you know what?
The pinnacle.
He's done well. And then I heard cheese, and we crashed in a fiery peanut blaze of glory.
So I actually think this might be because they used to do like a cheese dish after a meal in fancy times.
Oh, really?
Yeah. No,
Wait,
so
are these listed in order of how you should eat these meals?
I hope not. Because it was like cookies. Well, it was like cookies and then candies and then soups, then breads, then cookie. It was
maybe,
weird.
okay, maybe
it was
not.
soups, breads, cookies, candies, cakes, Sorry, soups, breads, cookies, cakes, entrees, basically, stuffings. Maybe it was candies, and then cheeses. Maybe so. Maybe those were
I
like
don't know.
pre and then post dishes.
Maybe they were like a buffet, like set out for everybody.
God, could you imagine if you had peanut allergies? 0.6,
Oh, you'd step inside the room and die.
0.6% of people in America have peanut allergy.
0.6?
Cream cheese after M.R. Tolstrup. That's how the recipe's listed. I'm assuming this guy had perfected a cream cheese recipe and he listed, not counted in the numbers, because there's no nuts. It's just a cream cheese recipe. Number 101, peanut cream cheese with olives. Number 102, peanut...
What? With olives? No.
Number 102, peanut cream cheese with pimento. Number 103...
He's just doing the thing he did with mushrooms. He's just throwing peanuts
into these already made things. Yeah,
into these already made things and going, guess what?
Peanuts.
New recipe.
Number 103, peanut sandwich cheese.
No.
Number 104, peanut coffee.
No.
And number one...
You can't just put it in hot water and call it coffee.
Number 105, he should have called it T-nut. Number 105, salted peanuts. Wait a minute. Number 58 was salted peanuts. George?
He's got that on there twice.
I'm not kidding you. Number 105 says parch, rub, and winnow out the brown holes. Put in pan with just a speck of butter. Heat gently, shaking all the time. When buttered, sprinkle over with fine salt. Now, number 58 was roast the peanuts, shell, and remove thin holes. Put in a pan, butter slightly. Put in oven, heat through. Spread on a piece of white paper. Sprinkle with fine salt and serve. George, you have 104 recipes. You wrote one twice.
Let's be generous. You have 44 recipes.
You have 2 recipes, and the rest is just the act of a madman.
You have, yeah. Legit. You know what this sounds like? It sounds like if you set a toddler loose in a kitchen.
Peanut.
And you handed them a handful of peanuts.
Coffee.
And you said, combine.
Yeah.
And the toddler went, don't know what it means, but I'm going to shove it in here with some olives. And now it's a meal. Like what?
This is from the end of the paper.
Okay.
The above recipes are only... I said recipes. The above recipes are only a few of the many ways in which this wholesome pea... not joking... can be prepared for human consumption.
Okay.
Let us hope that Macon County...
Can you not eat them raw?
I guess not. What? I guess not.
You shut up. You shut up.
Let us hope that Macon County, which I'm assuming is Macon County, Georgia, will seize her splendid... Or maybe Alabama, because they were in Alabama.
Oh, yeah. Hey.
Let us hope that Macon County will seize her splendid opportunity and that every farmer will put in at least a small acreage of peanuts. That's how he ends the paper.
I mean, I don't want to dunk on him.
We did for about 20 minutes, so...
Okay, well, I don't want to continue to dunk on him.
Sure.
I feel like George Washington Carver, he did a lot.
He did a lot, yeah.
He did a lot. He ran the country.
Mm-hmm.
He made the peanut.
Yes, he
He
did.
was our first president.
He's on the dollar.
He's on the dollar. He...
Had wooden teeth.
That's a myth. Come on.
Sorry, he had peanut teeth.
Peanut teeth. Oh, my God.
How many times do you think George Washington Carver got a nut stuck in his teeth?
How many times do I think he got a nut?
Yeah.
With all of these recipes?
Yeah.
More times than I can count.
Do you think if he saw...
He got them ladies with all these nuts.
Do you think if he saw Almond Joys and Mounds, and it's like sometimes you feel like a nut, and he's like, God, please no. I do not feel like a nut anymore.
Yeah, I feel like he got burned
Please
out
give
on
me
nuts.
just turkey.
I think he got nut burn, you know?
Yeah,
Like,
absolutely.
He got burnt out on nuts.
He got nut burnt.
He had to have.
He got burnt nut.
You can't look at a nut for that long and not get bored of it
True.
eventually.
That's what happens to us
Right?
all.
Eventually, you got to get bored of that nut.
Peanuts are the 12th most valuable cash crop grown in the United States with a farm value of over $1 billion.
No way. Still?
Yep.
Wow.
I think last year it was like closer to $2 billion.
Dang, all right.
Unlike other countries, the prime market for U.S. peanuts is in the edible consumption, and the marketing and production focus is in that direction. So instead of like using it for peanut oil or things like that, it's more just eat the nut.
Yeah.
Peanuts, peanut butter, and peanut candy are some of the most popular products in the United States. Americans eat more than 6 pounds of peanut products each year, worth more than $2 billion at the retail level. That's where the $2 billion came from. My bad. Peanut butters account for about half of the U.S. edible use of peanuts, accounting to $850 million in retail sales. Each year. It is a popular sandwich spread for children and adults
Fair.
because it is both nutritious and economical. The other half of U.S. consumption is divided equally between snack nuts and confectionery applications. Peanuts are eaten as snack nuts in many ways, roasted in shell, roasted kernels, or in mixed nut preparations.
Or left in a bowl on a bar where lots of drunk people put their hands in it.
Liddy,
Storm.
That's it. That's all I have about peanuts.
Well, okay, so I will say, to be fair,
Yeah.
the peanut, the humble peanut,
Yeah. The humble egg.
this humble legume,
Uh-huh. The humble...
legume, it has a lot of uses, right? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, we were talking about it being like a savory item, a sweet item,
Sure.
a snack item. Like, it has a ton of uses.
Yeah.
Plus, I'm sure it's probably saved some lives. Like, we were talking about soldiers eating it as a snack. People,
Probably killed some people with nut allergies.
Well, nut allergies, yeah. I wonder how those came about. Like, I wonder how...
I don't know enough about science to tell you, Liddy. I'm not a scientist. I'm just a nut man.
He's just nuts about nuts.
Nuts about nuts.
I wonder how those developed. But I mean that's really interesting. I didn't know that much. I'm sorry that I dunked so long on George Washington Carver.
I think he kind of deserves... I mean, George Washington Carver is like a legend at this point.
Yeah.
And he kind of got away with some bullshit on his recipes, but he deserves it. I mean, he is responsible for why peanuts are so widespread, but also maybe just went a little too far down the nut hole and just kept going and was peanut crazy and just started making peanut recipes life out.
He's just in it for the nut, you
He
know?
fell down that rab nut hole.
He's he was just in it for the nut. I don't like peanut butter.
Yeah, you're wrong.
Everybody's got
But
flaws.
I respect that.
Everybody's got flaws. It's okay with chocolate.
Yeah, because it's perfect with chocolate.
Well, okay, so we say Reese cups.
Yes,
But it's Reese's. Technically,
I know.
it's a Reese's cup.
A Reese cup.
Or, yeah, we say Reese cups.
But I say Reese's Pieces because that sounds right.
That's weird, right?
I wouldn't say Reese
See,
Pieces.
I don't like Reese's Pieces either.
Oh, that's the best candy in my
I
opinion.
don't like them.
Legitimately my favorite candy.
I don't like...
You like peanut M&Ms?
I do like peanut M&Ms.
Okay. Do you like peanuts in like Thai food?
I don't...
Very popular in Asian cuisines, peanuts.
Yeah, they are, and I don't
And
feel
peanut
like,
butter.
I don't feel like I've had enough Thai food to be able to tell. Like,
Fair enough.
I've had Thai food a couple of times that I've gone, oh hey, there's peanuts in this, but it hasn't been something that's turned me away from it.
Sure.
My big thing
I
is
love it.
if I have peanut butter in some way, I can't have it on bread. It's a textural thing. No
Fair
matter
enough.
If it's smooth or crunchy or whatever.
That's fine.
It's just like the texture of it is so like thick and cloying that I can't
Good word.
really like I can't get through it. But I can
Yeah.
like dip an apple slice in like a little bit of it and eat it. But
Sure.
in general, peanut butter and I are not pals. But
Not pound nut butter.
but Five Guys cooks their fries in peanut
They
oil.
do. Peanut oil is actually really, if it weren't for allergies, it'd probably be the most popular oil because it's cheap. It has a really high smoke point, which would be perfect for deep frying.
Yep.
And then it's also like not very flavorful. Like
Yeah.
it's like olive oil is probably the most flavorful oil.
Flavorful, yeah. But it has
peanut-
a lot of calories in it. Olive oil has a ton of calories
Exactly,
in it.
it does.
And peanut oil has like peanuts in general, like you were saying, have a lot of protein without
Mm-hmm.
having like I mean they have a fair amount of calories and a fair amount of fats, but it's not.
Nutrition in a nutshell.
Yeah, exactly. It's nutrition in a nutshell. It comes kind of like full circle. So a lot of places still have peanuts, like steakhouses. Some steakhouses
Yeah.
have like peanuts just like in a bucket on the table, and you eat them before you eat your meal, which is
I love it.
It's like
I love it so much.
It's like a common thing. I don't know if this is like everywhere, but there's like a common thing for us, which is like kind of weird to think about, I guess, because like.
Sure, but it works.
But I mean, I wonder how peanuts became the thing at bars. Because salty, I guess,
Yeah.
salty and
Protein.
protein to make sure they're not too drunk.
Yep.
But people just dipping their hands in that like bowl of peanuts is just not a good look.
Yeah, not great.
It's just not a good thing.
I love peanuts.
Peanuts are great. I like peanuts by themselves. Definitely like roasted salted peanuts for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where can people find you, John?
Twitch.tv/dormstreams. Where can people find you?
Twitch.tv/Team Liddy.
We also have Twitter,
We also have Instagram,
shirts,
Snapchat,
Discord.
YouTubes. You have a patron.
See, you always do two there.
I gotta get on top of the leaderboard here.
That's right. It's the baseball bat game.
Yeah. You have a Patreon.
Yeah, I do. You can throw money at me and watch me dance. Second part is a lie.
The second part is not a lie. You just have to give him enough alcohol. That was a good episode.
Thanks.
Yeah. I learned a lot of stuff that I didn't.
There's really nothing to it. Woo!
You smashed it. You did it.
Thanks. Oh, jeez.
Some would say you blew it.
Ew.
You blew a nut. But
Don't ever say that again.
I think you crushed it.
Ah, thanks.
I think you really just like crushed it, you know?
Yeah, you got any more?
You know, you're a podcaster on the half show. What do they say about Teenage Mutant?
That's oysters.
No, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. What do they say about them? Heroes in the half show.
Yeah, there you go.
Heroes in the half show. That's turtle related,
power.
so it doesn't matter here.
Yeah, and
but
I don't think it's referring to peanuts.
you don't know.
It's true, I don't know.
They loved peanuts. You don't know.
Yeah, we did it. That was an episode.
Yeah, we did it.
Episode 27.
Wow.
Been doing this for over half a year now.
Quarter of my age.
Yeah.
I can't believe it.
Double mine.
Shut up. All right. Until next time.
Be careful where you click. Oh, that was good. Finger guns.
I got him.